One thing George Seymour did for me was put me in touch with a lady who lived in New York City. Her name was Marcy Taylor. She was 67 years old and had been experiencing V2K and electronic harassment for the past 7 years. Y'all hear that, y'all? This is sad. She was the victim of some other tenants in her building who were mad at her because her apartment was rent controlled and she paid about 20% of what new, more recent tenants were paying for their monthly rent. I told her that my vision was still damaged from the repeated druggings and would take over 6 months to return to normal. She too had been drugged and abducted and felt as though she had been implanted. She had also gone to George Seymour for a body sweep. He told her that she didn't have any implants either. It cannot be said enough how quickly the implant technology is developing, constantly getting smaller, more efficient, harder to detect and locate with ever expanding capabilities. Marcy made me feel better in many ways. It was nice to be able to speak with someone who not only understood what I was talking about, but who was a victim as well. She said that over the years, she had heard many different stories, but none more unusual than mine. Marcy said that Minnie was by far the weirdest story she have ever heard. And y'all already know how that is. You know, this program is fucking crazy. Marcy put me in contact with another victim, Sagatar, 33 years old, who lived in Spain, Madrid, Spain. I began emailing SAG on a regular basis, trying to figure out how we would get out from this terrible situation. SAG had studied electronics and had a background in science. He had also spent a year and a half in medical school. In January 2009, I traveled to Argentina with my parents for a fishing trip. I was harassed and followed, even in South America. A man on the plane kept turning around and staring at me. And while waiting in the lounge before takeoff, he walked right up to me and fake sneezing twice, then gave me an ugly, dirty look. My parents, who sat right next to me, were completely unaware. While visiting a national park, a woman pushed me down from behind and walked right past me without saying a word. Sometimes things happen by coincidence. When these things continue to happen and you can start to anticipate them, this is no longer a mere coincidence. If everything is a coincidence, then coincidences do not exist. SAG and I began using Skype and having long video conference calls, plotting how to escape from our tortured lives. After much independent research, both in libraries and on the internet, I came to the conclusion that we had to have been implanted. I spoke to a very famous victim, Josh Mesa from New York. He had a website that was more extensive than any internet site I'd seen. He sold countermeasure protection from directed energy on his website, special clothing, capes, and jammers for $60. He had a small pendant-sized jammer that was to be worn around the neck. It would knock down most of the directed energy, but not all of it. That's a good idea, y'all. I thought about getting me a little jammer. I know they said they're illegal too. And now you know why they're illegal. I guess having a jammer is like having a pistol, huh? A tiny monitor inside the jammer case will spin at a very high rate of speed, which caused interference in the directed energy being beamed at the target. He had pictures on his website which showed scars behind the ears of several victims. These scars were the result of implants which were installed deep in the ear canals. It was done using cosmetic surgery techniques. The resulting scars were difficult to see and were designed to look like natural folds in the skin. Now, see, this is back in the day, y'all. This is kind of old. This is old technology. I keep telling y'all too that they don't have to do all that now. There's other ways now for them to implant you. They don't have to surgically do it. After I ordered my jammer, I called Josh Mesa one afternoon and briefly explained my situation to him. I told him that I've been swept for implants and I thought I was receiving EEG technology or brainwave electronic harassment. He told me that he did not believe in that technology. And most likely I had been implanted. He asked me to have my family or friends look behind my ears for scars. He said most likely I will find scars exactly like the ones that he had posted on his website. The next day I asked my father to look behind each of my ears to see if he had any scars there. He answered very quickly, yes, you have scars behind both ears. They're identical and in the same location on each side. Now, see, this is something different. You know what I'm saying? This guy right here, he was implanted physically. But I know with with the new TIs out here today, and you haven't had any type of surgery or nothing like that, and you just woke up on broadcast, you have been implanted by satellite. You know what I'm saying? Signals, that's why they keep the bots around you with them damn cell phones. Because somehow, some way, they can implant you with the cell phones, hit you they can implant the signal from the cell phone. It goes straight in your head and into your body. And that's how they get that technology inside you. And that's how they can create pains and stuff like that. The bots is right now, listen to me right now. Fuck you, bots. That's why you're going to die too. Y'all going to die. All you sucking son of a bitches going to die. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. This is the Hawk Maniac right now, man. And I'm here to tell you what you gotta do when them stalkers come for you.